Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to Back Issues. I am Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Ben.
Hey, welcome back, Ethan. Ethan's back.
Yeah.
Hey, he's not dead.
Yeah. A lot of people have been like, where the hell? He keeps leaving.
Yeah, I know. I keep having things.
Yeah,
There's stuff to do.
You keep having a life.
Well, we film on weekends now, and like I have
stuff to do.
Yeah, I go places.
Yeah, you do go places. A couple of things before we get started. I guess the first thing is we have a TeePublic store. Just tossing it out there.
Which is awesome.
Link in the description box down below. You can go there, pick up some shirts. We're going to have some on next time that will advertise some of that. The only things in the store are shirts I think, or that we think are cool and relevant to the channel. So you won't find, like, I don't know, shirts that are stupid in there.
Unless you think that what we like is stupid.
Right, in which
you'll
case,
find a
fine.
lot that-
I mean, that's opinion, really.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can check that out.
Can we, like, suggest, like, shirts to put in there?
I think so, yeah. Oh, yeah, I want you to. Yeah, I
Okay.
want you guys to, like, have an info.
Because you didn't ask.
No.
You just
well, I had to make something.
Yeah, we were not consulted on that.
No.
I think that's
we have a
fine,
store.
though.
I don't have-
Oh, these shirts are okay.
Well, I can't
might make some
always wait for you to
suggestions.
come back from whatever vacation you're going on in order to consult you and get your opinion on
Well, there wasn't an opinion box, but you weren't here to put your slips in.
It's true. All-Star Superman was great and definitive, and it like launched the All-Star line for DC. DC was like, okay, Superman, what's next? Obviously, we got to do Batman. Batman is the obvious choice, and so
And it'll just be like fucking up there.
yeah,
Yeah.
boom. And so they were like, let's get some really killer Batman team. Now, we did Batman Hush, which you can click here to see. It was a great team, Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee. Jeff Loeb wrote Long Halloween, Dark Victory, and Batman Hush, and just completely sold it, both critically and commercially. It was a huge success. Everyone loved it. So why get Jeff Loeb, though, when we could possibly get the man who wrote arguably the greatest Batman story of all time, Mr. Frank Miller? Can you imagine Frank Miller on a Batman Monthly title?
Right.
With Jim Lee.
Yeah.
And so we get...
We get the best artist and the best writer.
Exactly. Definitive.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Jim Lee destroys every page with the art. It is unfathomably awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Every page is awesomely cool. And it's probably why it took many years for 12 issues to come out.
Many years?
Like 3 or 4?
Oh my god.
What? Just reduced to a major quagmire of delays. Just non-stop delays.
Was it actually like consistent where it's like 3 months you get a new book, or was it?
No, it was just
interspersed?
whenever it was done, you got a new book. But it was supposed to come out monthly, and in fact, for the first like 2 issues, it was. But then after that, meh. And according to Frank Miller, because people were like, Miller must be taking forever, and Miller's like, it's not me. Actually, no, I don't think Miller threw Jim Lee under the bus. I think Jim Lee was like, it's not Frank's fault, guys.
Yeah, lay off him.
It's me. I'm drawing a lot. And you'll see some of the crazy things that he draws in this title.
So, this wasn't the only thing Jim Lee was doing at the time, though,
I don't think
right?
so. I mean, he was.
Hope not.
I would hope not.
All his time in this book.
I mean, he might have. Like, there's a lot of detail and work into this that I've never seen Jim Lee do.
Wow.
It's called All-Star Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder, which is a horrible title, but Frank Miller insisted to call it that. He wanted to tell, because they were like, Frank, what Batman story do you want to tell? We let Grant Morrison tell the Superman story he wanted to tell. What story does Frank Miller want to tell? And he's like, I want to tell the origin story of Robin. Like, I want to show those first adventures that Batman and Robin go on. And they're like,
Really?
sure.
Okay.
And he's like, I want to call the book Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder. And they're like, again, okay. And they use the same font and logo as the old one. And as you can see, it's just like, and Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder, like, it's just,
Yeah, Robin is actually bigger
Yep.
here. There's more words devoted to Robin.
And also
because
runs
that's
off
the
the
way
page.
that the stupid, like, effect for the text thing worked.
Well, they could have done it the opposite way. They could have made Batman big and then
Yeah.
cut it down.
But clearly this is a story about Robin.
It's a story about Robin.
Well, the fact that Robin's in it is really important.
It's
Which
really
is a
important.
Strange choice.
Yes, and okay, opinion time. I think Frank took longer to work on this. I think because this book not only goes off the rails almost immediately, but it doesn't make any sense because he clearly gets distracted narratively.
So what you're saying is Jim covered for Frank.
Yes.
Being like, guys, lay off Frank.
the art-
Now,
I'm taking a while to draw.
I can't say that definitively. I don't know them. I don't know the story, but I suspect and I theorize that that's how it happened. The Frank just kind of... Because there's references to criticism he gets on this book in following issues.
What?
So, like, he does something egregious in issue 3, and the internet lights the fuck up. And it became a joke that has dogged Batman the character and Frank Miller since this book came out. And he immediately makes a reference to it in the following issue. And if it was done, it wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So
That's weird.
Before we get into the story, because they're really like there's 1,000 of them, and they all take place concurrently, and like they all deviate. Just look at the book.
Wait, this doesn't just go straight forward?
I mean, it goes straight forward, but like there's a lot of bumps along the road. I mean, we kick things off right away. Robin, aka Dick Grayson. It's before he becomes Robin. He's part of the Flying Graysons. Here, take a look at this one. He's part of the Flying Graysons, and Robin's parents die. Now, in the way the original Flying Graysons died, or rather how Dick Grayson ultimately became Robin, is Dick Grayson is part of the Flying Graysons Act. His parents and he are performing. Tony Zuko cuts the acrobatics line. And so when his parents use it, it snaps and they fall. Sad, whatever. In this one, they perform the feat. And then they are both shot through the head by a sniper.
What? Wait, they kill acrobats by shooting them.
By shooting.
The fact that they're acrobats is not even...
They literally, they stick the landing, they're like, yay! And you're like, what?
Well, it's got to be different.
It can't be the same damn thing.
What's the point? There's a lot going on in the
There's a lot. The first issue.
Whoa. What are you doing?
Because before you even see that, you see Vicky Vale.
Yeah.
The ace reporter that, like, the once and future girlfriend of Bruce Wayne / Batman, doesn't know he's Batman, never finds out. Except in that movie.
For, like, 6 full pages in her lingerie.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, like... You know, you got Jim Lee drawing your book. You might as well have him draw Vicky Vale in her underwear.
Yeah, with like close-ups of her ass.
Oh my god, that's just a full panel of just butt,
and it's like see-through underwear butt.
Yeah. Well, she would naturally wear that, especially if she's going on a date with Bruce Wayne.
Is that what she's doing?
By the way,
she's getting ready for her date.
When has she been a redhead? I thought she was blonde.
Yeah, she was. Now she's redhead. Unlike the original story where Batman and like Dick Grayson team up to solve the mystery of his parents' murder, Batman catches the killer right away.
Oh. Is he there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Bruce Wayne takes Vicky Vale to the circus.
Okay.
The idea here is, like, she's like, I can't believe I'm on a date with Bruce Wayne. Like, normally she's like, I would try to interview him.
Right.
But I think I'm going to try and fuck him. So, Batman, or, Bruce is there, the parents are assassinated, Bruce ditches her, to become Batman.
Right.
Batman shows up, okay. The cops show up, and we establish right away the cops in Gotham are all corrupt.
Okay.
And they're giving Dick and Vicky a really hard time. Like, an uncharacteristically...
Why are they even talking to Vicky?
Well, because Vicky is coming to the aid of Dick Grayson. Like, Dick Grayson's parents are murdered in front of him, now he's this traumatized little acrobat boy.
Right.
And she is just like, hey, lay off of him. And they're like, oh yeah, well, maybe we'll strong-arm you too. And you're like, what's happening? But that's okay, because then Batman shows up.
Okay.
In his car. And he runs everyone over with it.
What?
He plows his car into the police cars that are there,
God.
and he grabs Dick Grayson. And what does he say?
You've just been drafted.
Frank Miller's really playing up like Batman as a psychopath.
Yes. Frank Miller has created a singular continuity with all the books that have Batman in them that he's written. So, year 1, Dark Knight Returns, Dark Knight Strikes Again, and Batman Spawn.
They're an army of bats.
Are all in the same continuity. So the Army of Bats is called by Batman because in year 1 we've established he has a little device in his shoe that calls bats.
Okay.
So he called them to like announce his arrival.
I see.
Now year 1 establishes the first appearance of Batman. This is like year 2 for Batman.
Okay.
So Batman's kind of like established himself and he's really like he's in his prime. That's the point. Like we're seeing Frank Miller writing Batman as like the young, like ready to go, like fully tempered steel instrument of destruction and justice that is Batman. And he's also going to eventually establish the Justice League. Like, his version of Justice League. Because in all the Frank Miller Batman books, we've seen him, and in Dark Knight Strikes Again, like, we see him. But, like, you know, by the time Dark Knight Returns comes around, like, they all leave. They'll disband because of Batman.
Right.
This is the book that establishes why. Like, because Batman is a fucking lunatic.
He fucks it all up.
So,
are these bats, like, attacking the cops? Like, they're actually, like, tearing at, like, their gloves?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think bats do that.
Well, Batman's bats do.
Screw the damn brat. Let the bats eat him. They think the bats are going to eat people?
Well, they're
bats
just
don't eat people.
No, they don't. But, like, they're attacking them, so they have to assume.
Bats do.
What Batman either didn't realize or doesn't care about is he also hits Vicky Vale with his car. Or at least
really?
she is really, really hurt by
the wreckage,
of the cars exploding from the Batmobile. But Alfred's there.
Okay.
And Alfred, using his military training, like, dresses her wounds in time to save her.
Oh.
And apparently is also ripped.
No, Alfred is jacked in this story. He looks, in the face, he looks just like every other Alfred you've ever seen, but in this, he's also totally jacked. And Alfred calls the ambulance, and, oh my god. And, like, in this book, this is issue 2, we established that Dick Grayson is 12 years old.
Okay.
We know this because Vicky Vale and every other character in the story says it about 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Batman drugs Dick with
What?
his, like, because he has sleeping gas in his gloves.
You can't know, like, where...
No, he's freaking out too much and needs to chill out. So he puts him in.
drug him.
So he drugs the kid, puts him in his Batmobile, and then drives away. So Vicky Vale's like, so Batman shows up and steals this orphan child, and then leaves. Also, he almost killed me, and he attacked 1,000 cops.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's insane. So Batman has Dick Grayson in the car, and the cops attack him, and Batman, like, uses his car to kill all of them. Now, like, do we see anyone die? Yes, but, like, only in as much as we see cars explode with fire.
Right.
But,
And,
like,
then no cops afterwards.
no,
Yeah.
but, like, but is Batman a murderer? Nah, because he's just, you know.
Right.
Because he knows exactly the right place to hit a car where it'll create maximum damage, but
not
won't hurt the
somehow.
occupants.
Yeah.
The other thing in this issue is, this is the issue that, by the way, blew people's minds. Because, like, Dick's in the car, and
This is the second issue.
The second issue.
It already blew people's minds.
Yeah. So Dick wakes up, and he's like, what the hell's going on here? And who are you? What do you want? And Batman is obsessed with impressing this 12-year-old boy.
Why?
Because he's a man-child who really, really needs the attention and affection of a 12-year-old boy. Where he's like, this is awesome, right? What do you think? Cool car, right? And the kid's like, what? So then the kid's like, who are you? And this is when he says the line that will be forever next to the Batman character. So he says, here, let me show you.
Please.
He says, who the hell are you anyway, giving me orders like this? And he says, are you dense? Are you retarded or something?
Oh, shit.
Who the hell do you think I am? I'm the goddamn Batman.
Oh my god, are you retarded or
Are you
something?
retarded? You 12-year-old orphan
I
kid?
should be asking you that, Frank Miller. Are you dense? Are you retarded or something that
what
you're writing Batman like this?
He's saying it in the mirror.
Yeah.
He's like, that's a good line.
Oh my god.
So, Batman... I'm the goddamn Batman. And everyone... This is like...
That's where goddamn Batman.
That's where goddamn Batman comes from. And the internet is like, thank you.
Lit up.
Thank you for this. We can make fun of you forever.
Yep.
We all kind of assumed you were a little bit out of your mind, but now we're certain you're a jackass. And everyone made fun of him. I think that Miller actually wrote this line deliberately because he thought it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And the internet reacted in the exact inverse way.
Right.
And... like, so it was an immortal line that, like, Miller knew was going to be remembered forever.
But not for the reason that he thought.
But he also is Frank goddamn Miller. And so he is like, well, what do you think? Like, what do you know? So, for every single issue after this, someone will refer to Batman as the goddamn Batman. In a, like, direct face-looking, like, fuck you for making fun of me in this line. Like, issue 3, he starts to change his script. So, clearly, he is, like, writing this right before it's due. Like, DC editorial sent him an email, hey, we need that script. And he's like, oh, right. Give me an hour.
Hang
I gotta
on.
put the finishing touches on it. Wrote it and then just emailed it. Didn't proofread it, and by the way, he didn't proofread it because there are lines in here where someone says, "Are you bullshitting me?" And they blocked it out. Like they printed the curse, then printed a censor bar over it. But they fucked up the printing, so it actually wound up just creating a box around the curse word. So it was like, so you could really see it. And in one line, I think Batgirl actually says, "Are you bullshitting me?" But he wrote bullshitting and then wrote the ing after it, so it said, "Are you bullshitting me?" So, and I don't know if editorial fucked that up, if it was the letterer's fault, or if they were like, "We can't." Like Frank wrote it, we have to just let it be that way. But
Can't change it. I mean, they'll go nuts.
He'll freak out, come over here, or he'll hit us with his Batmobile and kill us. So he
Every time Frank sees that we've changed something, he comes over like he is Batman.
Yep.
And tries to terrorize us.
Yeah.
I'm the goddamn Frank Miller.
I'm goddamn Frank Miller, and I'll fucking kill you. So
That's why Jim Lee's like, look,
insanity.
we can't incense this man.
Yeah.
No, blame me, folks.
it's not my...
You don't want him angry.
No.
Dick Grayson, aerialist, 12 years old, brave boy, damn strong. Not that he's got a prayer of escaping my grip.
Yeah, really thirsty.
Opening line.
Second page.
Yep.
It's just a close-up of the kid's face with Batman's grin covering his mouth. Like,
And
gas
gassing
coming
him.
out.
this is terrifying.
And that's it. Like, that's all that happens. Is Batman abuses this kid, and Vicky Vale is like, "I'll never forget that happened. And I'll never forget that Batman stole this poor boy."
Yeah.
And
Good.
it's weird because okay, so Frank Miller must be insane, right? Because he's writing this crazy shit. But there are characters in here that are reacting to him like he's out of his mind.
Okay.
So it's almost like we're seeing all these aspects of Miller's personality permeate throughout the book. Like there is a sane Frank Miller in there who's coming through the side characters.
Like
who
he's
are
he's trying to be like, no.
yeah, who are like, "Don't do it, Batman. That's fucking out of that's off the chain."
Right. Like Frank Miller is Batman.
Yeah.
Like, he's crazy.
Yep.
And he acts like a lunatic, but he knows somewhere in there that he's not supposed
That he
to.
shouldn't.
Yeah,
be that
no,
way.
no. Like when he's writing for Batman, he's Batman. But when he's writing for other characters, he's sensible
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Being like,
Yeah.
no.
That's
Yeah.
like the normal side of him, like trying to rein him in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Alfred is like one of those characters who's like, "Stop,
Please.
what are you doing?" And
But thank you for making me jacked.
right, but I am fucking awesome. So, Robin kind of, or Dick Grayson kind of notices that he's using a voice.
Okay.
And he's doing a Clint Eastwood voice. Where he's like, "So, I'm Batman." And I'm like, that doesn't work. And so he's not impressed.
Well, he realizes this guy's
Right.
fake.
At first that's it. He notices, he realizes that Batman's a phony.
Right. Well, he's saying things like "sleep tight, punk."
Yeah, he's "Sleep tight, my ward."
Yeah. Shut up. I'll do the talking here. Like he's trying to act like a badass.
Yeah. It's weird because it's so not. Like, he's so not a badass. Except he also does insane things that hurt people. So, I mean, in his actions, he's a badass. But he's also
But he's an irrational, weird badass.
I'm going to
Yeah.
be the best friend you could hope for, and the worst enemy you could ever imagine. Sure, man.
What?
Whatever.
What does that even mean?
That's the audience.
Yeah.
The reader.
And that's
Sure,
Dick Grayson
man.
being like, all right, well, you're going to kill me whenever we get to where we're going.
Yeah.
You
So-
probably killed my parents.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't care what you say. I'm dead. I'm a dead man.
Yeah.
I understand that.
So, Batman and Dick Grayson drive in a car for 3 issues.
What?
Issue 2, he's driving around, he's razzling cops.
Oh my god! He's driving his car toward these cops on
purpose.
motorcycles, and then he says, "Just watch, kiddo. This is gonna be great." I was like, plow through these. Then he says, "Ha."
Yeah, he laughs all the time in this book. It's really uncomfortable.
God, he's just a psychopath.
Yeah, it's awful.
That's
so
bizarre.
Batman drives in the car with Dick for 3 issues, and in the 3rd issue, because nothing happens. So in the 3rd issue, we establish Black Canary. Black Canary is just a superhero who's mostly established, she's mostly connected with the Green Arrow, but for whatever reason, she's in this book.
Oh,
And-
so that's not Catwoman.
No, that's Black Canary.
I really thought that was
And she's Irish. And she's in this bar, and she hates men, and, all men are pigs, and she works at the bar, I guess? What?
As Black Canary?
as
Well,
Black
because
Canary?
Black
That's
Canary
weird.
isn't a superhero in this universe yet. She's just, a chick who works at the bar. but the men are all pigs, so she kicks their asses.
That's really not going to do well for her customer base.
No, well, she eventually decides, like, because she saw Batman, she has been inspired to put on a mask and fight crime. So she's like, Batman has inspired me to, like, do what is necessary. So she, like, kicks the shit out of her client base, and then, like, leaves? She gets on her motorcycle and hauls ass. And it's like, wow, that's awesome. I guess. And you're like, what a... And even her monologues are insane, where she says, the Harley is a roaring lion between her legs. Dawn is scarce moments away. It's gonna be a beautiful day. What the hell? So, Batman and Robin keep driving in their car. But this time...
now it's a plane.
The first half of that book was just her beating people up in her own bar.
It's literally just Black Canary, a character you've never seen before and won't appear for more than one other issue, kicking the shit out of characters you'll never meet again.
Did she ever go back to the bar?
No.
She just quit.
That's how she quits.
Yeah.
It's her bar!
Yeah, in the previous issue it turns into a plane and he's flying around, he's like, isn't this awesome? And you're like, no.
The kid actually thinks to himself, this guy is such a tool.
I love that. And he's right.
And he's right, he is a tool.
So then Batman turns the car from a plane into a submarine.
Oh my god.
And he says, and Robin
It's
says,
a cool ass drawing though.
Robin says, so what do you call this thing anyway? And Batman says, the Batmobile. And he's got a kind of smile on his face. And then Robin says, that is so queer. And then Batman goes, shut up. And he's got a little frown. So then Superman sees the Daily Planet prints an article where it's like, Batman stole this 12-year-old from this thing.
Right, because he did.
And like Clark Kent is reading it, which by the way, like he works for the Daily Planet, so he's reading the newspaper in his apartment. And so, like...
So he's reading the wrong... Wait.
No, but, like... Okay, so Superman's reading this newspaper that he works for in his apartment.
Yeah.
Like he's never read it before.
No, but that's the Daily Planet, which is Metropolis, not, not the newspaper in Gotham.
No. So Vicky Vale doesn't work for the Daily Planet. She works for the Gotham Gazette.
But other papers picked up the story.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that would be national headline.
Right.
Mass.
Furthermore, he also has Dick Grayson's face on a milk carton, and it says he's been missing, and by the way, even the fucking... milk carton says he's age 12, but this says it was Metropolis 15 hours ago. Batman and Robin have been driving in a car for 15 hours.
Also, somehow the milk carton company
has printed
this, has already gotten this before the newspaper.
Yep.
And they got the picture of Dick Grayson being surprised that his parents are dead.
Yep.
How did this happen?
Yeah.
That's got to be some kind of record.
Word travels fast.
This is like a magical milk company.
Yeah, it's either the freshest milk ever, or Frank Miller doesn't remember what he wrote in the last issue. Which one do you think it is? So then it teases that Superman's going to appear in the next issue, and you're like, okay.
Oh, shit.
And he's really pissed off at Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Because he's gone too far this time.
Right.
I guess.
In fact, he lasered his glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And destroyed the newspaper article. It's on fire.
Yeah, he burns it.
Everyone's so angry.
Yeah, everyone's really angry, especially the readers.
Crazy asshole.
So, finally, forgivably, Batman and Dick Grayson arrive at the Batmobile.
So they stopped driving.
They stop driving.
Stop swimming.
Look at this fold-out page of the Batmobile. Because you think, like, okay, cool, like, every once in a while they did this with covers, but they never did this with a full page. So that's the fold-out, right? Wrong.
Oh my god.
What? Oh my god!
That's
6 pages!
is the page.
You've got 2 different bat cars.
They got
You've
the
bat-
11 different bat
the
cars.
bat boat, the bat plane.
Is this cool? Is this impressive? Sure.
Yeah,
It
it's
looks
cool.
awesome. I mean, this art is fantastic.
Right. And like they'll never do this again. This
6-page sprawl.
yeah.
He's got the dinosaur. Where's the penny?
It's in there somewhere.
I guess we can't see it from this angle.
Maybe he hasn't gotten
Oh,
it
there's
yet.
the bat tank.
Yeah, there it is. It's coming.
That's
Oh,
cool.
it's like under construction by robots.
The glider, a helicopter, a different gyrocopter.
So there's a lot of fun Easter eggs in here.
Yeah.
And I've never seen
And this... Wait, was one of the copters in the
Oh,
movie?
yeah.
The old movie?
the 1966 like
That's a little bit big for that.
It
It's not
is.
as-
It's got sidewinders on
Yeah,
it.
okay, never mind.
I mean, it's close.
In fact, everything has missiles. Look at all the missiles. But like,
It's a lot of missiles.
So there you go. Like,
person who doesn't kill
the
people.
Batcave is big and cool, but who gives a fuck? Because we've been driving in a car for 3 issues. We get the view of the Batcave from Dick Grayson's perspective. So, like, while it's cool, we also have this nightmare monologue where he's
Yeah.
like, I'm in a cold, empty place that a man-child has built.
Yeah.
And it's filled with bats who, not 15 hours ago, apparently, attacked me and police. So, I'm a little frightened. And Robin has an understandably reaction where he's just like, holy shit. And he's like, isn't it awesome? I'm a cool kid, right? Aren't I awesome? Aren't I a cool dad or uncle?
Am I cool yet?
And what do you say, Junior? Is this cool or what? And then Rob says, yeah, I mean, it's okay, I guess. I've seen better, but it's okay. And his monologue goes, I don't think I like this kid. Not one bit.
I'm gonna take him back and drown
This did
him.
not work well at all.
Yeah,
Even though I've had my eye on him for a while.
right.
Look, I need him because of his acrobatic skills, not because of his attitude.
Yeah. So Batman says,
Too
like...
much of.
Yeah. So Batman says, like, you need to stay here. Because I have to go take care of business. And he's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm hungry. And he's like, well, the food will present itself. And he's like, what? And, like, rats start, like, showing up. And he's like, do you want me to eat them? But he's gone. So, like, that's it.
Ah!
And, what
the hell?
And Batman has heard that, okay, I think, like, Alfred tells him, like, Vicky Vale's gonna die. And it's kind of your fault.
From what?
From, like, injuries.
Why does she go to a hospital?
She goes to a hospital.
Oh.
And,
What, they can't help her?
it's fucking really bad. Like, they don't have a brilliant surgeon that Batman knows and needs. So Batman calls Superman, and he actually says, like, you need to go get this brilliant surgeon from far away and bring him to Vicky Vale and save her, or I'm going to tell everybody you're Clark Kent. So Superman
Wow!
picks her up, or picks up the surgeon in the car, and runs across the ocean and brings them there.
What, doesn't fly?
In this, he doesn't fly. In this, it's like 1930s Superman, where, like, he doesn't fly.
He can jump.
He jumps. He hasn't established.
figured out how to fly
Figured out
yet.
how to fly. In fact, in the book, Batman says he doesn't even know he can fly, but I do
How?
because Frank Miller doesn't like Superman.
So this is really early?
Yeah, in
everyone's,
Superman
like-
and Batman's. Yeah,
This is like right after, like, year
one.
one.
Yeah, it's like year 1.5.
That is bizarre.
So,
But he's already going to ruin the Justice League in this book.
yeah. Well, Justice League hasn't even been formed.
Oh, they
yet.
haven't even formed yet. So
No.
he creates and ruins the Justice League?
Yes.
This entire...
Batman doesn't even. No, Batman doesn't even join the Justice League
Oh.
in
okay.
this whole
In
series.
okay, I see. It's...
Dick wakes up and there's a platter in front of him.
Yeah, there's a fucking Big Mac and fries and shit.
All I
and-
can imagine is you waking up and be like, oh, if only I hadn't eaten all those rats.
I can't believe I hate those rats already.
Damn it. Well, no, he doesn't eat the rats, and then, like, Alfred serves him children food.
Okay.
And Batman goes to Alfred. He's like, what are you doing? You're ruining everything. And Alfred's like, he's not going to eat rats. And he's like, I did. When my parents were murdered and I ran away, I lived in caves and ate rats. I didn't need Bruce Wayne's billions. I just needed, like, the will to survive. And I found my food and I ate it myself, and that's what he needs.
No!
Like-
that is not how Batman starts.
No, Batman is like, no, I need to torture this poor kid.
Deranged.
So then we meet Wonder Woman.
Oh,
I don't know if I want to.
So, no, Wonder Woman is a lunatic asshole, too.
Jesus.
She is a man-hating,
Oh,
Like-
no.
Frank Millerian.
Like Amazonian, which is like, no, men are evil.
No, it's even worse than that. So she shows up.
This is really offensive.
So Wonder Woman goes to, like, this weird, like, secret meeting place, and it's where the Justice League is meeting.
Okay.
And she runs into the Justice League, or at least the characters that Frank Miller wants to write about.
Right.
And that is Superman, Green Lantern, and Plastic Man.
Plastic Man!
Hey, he's part of the Justice League.
And he
Is
was
he?
also in The Dark Knight Strikes Again. And he wrote about him already, so now he's in this. The Green Lantern is
Where's
established. Flash is not on the Justice League in the story. So the meeting, by the way, the Justice League meeting is, what are we going to do about Batman? He kidnapped this kid and he's making us all look bad. What are we going to do? And Wonder Woman's like, we should just go kill him. And Superman's like, that's not what we do. Okay? And she's like, you're a tool.
Haven't you had this conversation before about
Yeah.
people that you need to deal with? Do
Right.
you always say, like, does Wonder Woman always want to kill them, and Superman has to remind her that they don't do that? Like,
Yeah. It's awful. So Superman and Wonder Woman have a fight over ideologies, kind of.
Okay.
Or as much as Frank Miller thinks that they could have a conversation about ideologies.
Right.
Where she's just like, you don't get it. Like, this world is full of, like, bullshit and men and meh. And Superman's like... And Superman tries to calmly explain it to her. And then ultimately he just has a tantrum and he, like, shakes the ground. He, like, kicks the ground. He's like, damn you, woman! You need to learn your place! Like, shut up! And she's like, I hate you all. You make me sick. And then they make out.
Oh my god. This is trash.
This is they're fighting, and clearly it's just like, damn it, you need to learn your place.
Yeah.
And of course the masculinity just wins over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She's
Well,
like,
all she
I hate you, but
needs...
you're so hot.
All she needs is a Superman.
Right.
Like, Amazonian don't need women. Or, I'm sorry, Amazonians don't need men.
Right.
They need supermen.
But there's only
Someone
one.
strong enough to tell them what for.
Yeah. And, like,
Oh,
Miller
thank you
thinks
for-
that's empowering, because it's like,
Yeah.
finally
Which
a
is-
man on my level.
Right.
But it's like, no, it's more like, finally a man who can subjugate me.
Yeah.
Which is fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So, I love being the goddamn Batman, is a line in this. And he just runs across rooftops and then just talks about how awesome he is. But, like, the art is fucking awesome.
Yeah, this looks
Like,
great.
It's so frustratingly cool. So he beats the shit out of some people. He runs into like a would-be rapist, and he paralyzes him. And the woman who was there, he leaves him to her. He's like, "Well, I've kicked his ass. Now you can finish up here." And he leaves, and she's like, "Oh, thank God." Like, she says something like, "Marry me." Batman is going to kick some ass down by the docks. Black Canary is coming to the docks, so finally Batman and Black Canary are going to meet up.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Yes.
Barbara Gordon, a.k.a. Jim Gordon's daughter, is coming home from school. She's very excited. While she's coming up the stairs, we establish that Gordon and his wife, Barbara, are still married. But he does cheat on her in year one with Sarah Essen, like the detective that he works with, in year one. And then, like, to save his marriage and because she was pregnant, he's like, Sarah, I can't be with you anymore. And then she gets a transfer and leaves. Miller establishes in this story that Sarah Essen leaving ruins Jim Gordon. And so he, like, needs her. So every time he's alone, he calls her and asks her, like, how she's doing and, like, talks to her. And his daughter, Barbara, is, like, loves her father so much that she's like, I wish he would just be with her because that would make him happy. Barbara, his wife, becomes an alcoholic because of the affair and starts to destroy herself. We never actually see her, really. We hear about her on the phone because she's, like, out. We see her, like, maybe, like, the one time, and she's pouring herself a drink, and she looks like shit. And, like, later, she's gonna actually, like, wind up in the hospital. Because she, like, was drinking and driving. Horrifying what's happening in this relationship.
Yeah.
But Barbara gets herself a Batgirl costume, puts it on, because she's obsessed with Batman, and then she goes out, and she's like, I'm gonna kick ass, because I'm inspired by Batman. Ugh. Meanwhile, Vicky Vale has established that, like, that surgeon guy that Superman, like, ran across the pond.
Yeah.
He fixed her, and she's 100% better.
She's so much better that she can leave the hospital 3 days early.
Yeah. And God knows how much time's passed. It could have been, like, a couple of hours or, like, a few months. Bruce, by the way, is like, sorry I left you, like, early at the circus. Here's a shitload of flowers. And she's like, oh, so great.
Well, thank God he loves me.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Gross. So, Batman and Black Canary team up, and as much as she gets in the car, and he, like, drops her off somewhere. That's it. And then he, like, goes, and then Batman comes back. And I think he captures, like, the guy who killed his parents. And he's like, here you go.
Wait,
He's like,
I thought he got him before.
well, he picks him up and he throws him in his car. And then, like, he kicks the crap out of some other guys on the docks. But, yeah, he beat him. And then he goes and gets him and brings him to Dick.
That's bizarre as all hell.
Yeah. So he's like, in order for you to have closure, like, please, like, do what you will. Like, I was never given the opportunity to, like, have revenge on my killer, or on my parents' killer, so please, like, what will you do about it? And Dick Grayson doesn't kill him. We also find out that, like, Dick Grayson's parents' murderer, who they call Jocko Boy, he's just a hired goon. He's not the hatchet man, as it were. The real brains behind it is the Joker.
Of course.
Why?
But we never find out.
No. That's bullshit.
We never find out.
That's fucking bullshit.
We don't find out why the Joker wanted his parents
Killed two
No.
random acrobats.
That's right. And you know why? Because Frank Miller doesn't know either. He just needs to have the Joker.
He just
in
needs it to be the Joker.
So Joker's in this book, and we meet the Joker, and in this really, really, really weird, creepy scene.
Ah!
Where Joker just finished banging this, like, lawyer.
Okay.
And she's like,
Is her name Harley?
No.
No.
Is this some sort of weird dragon tattoo?
Yeah, Joker
all over
has
his
a
back?
dragon tattoo on his back. It's on the cover here. Throughout the series, he never smiles.
What?
He's always frowning.
You can't have that. You can't have the Joker not
he's
smile.
always frowning. And I guarantee you, if he saw Batman, he would smile. But we never finished the series.
What?
That's the big. It's ironic that we're on the Joker issue for me to reveal the joke of this, which is that the series.
Just a joke, isn't it?
The series was like, I remember between I think issues 9 and 10, a year had passed.
Okay.
Like a full year,
Jeez.
and they hadn't come out. And then they came out with the last one, and then they just said, you know what, the series is canceled.
Wow.
So they never finished it.
That's rough.
Fucking disaster.
So,
Well, yeah, look at all the mistakes they're making.
yeah.
This is
I will say, I love the fact that Dick Grayson is not impressed at
Yes.
all with Batman.
No.
Because of how Batman is acting.
Yes, but then he is impressed with Batman. Like,
Right, of course.
Once he becomes his partner, he's like, okay, Batman knows what's up. Like, I need to do what he says. Like, I'm his
Right.
soldier. So, like,
So what Frank Miller's telling you is that, like, yeah, I know the Batman seems crazy,
right,
but, like,
if there's a method to it.
that-
But
yeah.
once you put on the costume, you get
yeah,
it.
then you get it.
Exactly.
You understand.
He, like, that's the thing, is that, like,
Just
Black
like me.
Canary got it.
Yep.
Fucking Batgirl got it.
Yep.
And, like, Dick Grayson won't put on a mask, but once he does, he'll get it.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's how you'll know Frank Miller.
Look through these.
you put on a silly fedora.
Yeah.
So Joker, like, talks about how he loves this girl because, like, she cares about Gotham, and then strangles her with her tie. And then he and Bruno leave.
Oh, there's Bruno.
Yep, there's Swatsta tits.
I remember her.
Yeah, from the fucking Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
You know what would have been awesome?
What?
If he strangled her with that tie and then put it on himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he might have, because, like, he's still in a state of undress when he does it, but I don't think it is, because there's a pattern on... No, yeah, he might have. He might have actually done that. Yeah, I think it was.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, he strangles her with his own tie. So,
Ah, okay.
yeah.
Assuming he took it from her. Like,
He brings it around.
Well, it's mine now.
It's almost like Batman is a character who exists in the story, and he's just being forced through the. He's like, why am I laughing? Why am I kidnapping this boy? What are you
Frank
doing
Miller
now?
making me do this?
Yeah, it's like somebody. It's like the editor gave him this monologue where he's like, I don't know why but I feel like a puppet being forced to dance. This insane puppeteer.
Yeah, like there's like Frank Miller's writing the stuff, and then a tutorial is like frantically filling in these boxes,
making
trying
it
to,
so
like-
that Batman is slightly likable.
Yeah.
Batman is the least likable character in this whole story. So then Batman is like on his way to figure out stuff with the Joker, and Green Lantern shines a big like bat signal thing over
the
Gotham.
Green Lantern symbol.
Yeah, and Batman's like, you idiot, you moron, you fool,
You've just killed yourself.
yeah. So so Batman gets rid of Jocko Boy and
Gets rid of him?
well, he throws him in the river.
Tied up.
Tied up, and he's like, you'll kick and you'll figure yourself out. So,
So he kills him.
and Dick Grayson is like trying to figure out like what his identity is going to be,
Okay.
and he like grabs like a bow and arrow, and he's inspired by his like his recollection of like the Errol Flynn like Robin Hood thing.
Uh-huh.
So he like, and Alfred helps Robin throughout the story, but you never see they never see each other. Alfred's like a disembodied voice in the cave that like
Okay.
brings things for him.
But Batman told me I can't meddle with this.
Yep,
so
but I will help.
Yeah.
So Robin's like, I'm going to need a few things for my suit. So like, and it's going to be like an outfit modeled after Robin Hood. And Batman and Green Lantern yell at each other for a little while because Green
What was
Lantern.
Green Lantern trying to do?
Okay, so Green Lantern was part of that meeting with
Yeah.
the Justice League where they're like, we need to
He
fucking
didn't say
take down
anything.
Batman. Green Lantern was like, maybe Batman isn't wrong. Maybe we just need to like
Hear his side.
We need to ease him into it. Like he doesn't like he's not wrong in what he's doing, but his approach is a little bit eh. So
Right.
maybe we help him like refine it a little bit more. Like
just
he'll be
control
okay.
him a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and so he goes to Batman and he's like, "Hey, Batman, what's up?" Batman's like, "Get the fuck out of here! What do you want?" You want my city? I'll kill you. And like, there's a monologue in here where he's like, the things I could do with that ring, and it's on an idiot like you. And you're like, yeah, like the
Wow.
like the Corps is gonna pick this lunatic asshole. So,
Oh my god.
and it's not even that, right? I can understand Batman being like the things I could do with the Green Lantern ring,
Right.
Like, no, but no, he says like there are a few like problems in the Middle East I would take care of.
Oh my
And you're like,
God.
stop!
Fuck you, Frank Miller.
So Batman,
Biggest problem in the world.
yeah. So Lantern's like, hey man, like I want to talk to you, and Batman's like, okay, but not here. Like I'll tell you where we're gonna meet because I control everything. And like Lantern's like, all right.
Okay.
So then,
Are you sure? I'm right here.
Yeah.
We could just talk.
no, meet me at my place. So
Because we're talking right now.
we're talking right now. We're literally just talking.
Let's
right
just
now.
let's just have that conversation.
No, later. Okay.
Because
All right.
I can't have the upper hand on you here.
Exactly.
I
He's
happen
like,
to know
wait,
where this is going.
yeah, meet me in a fucking trap. At the end of the story, Joker, I guess like Joker, it's almost like he's like Joker's plan is like paralleling his plan with like how the Justice League is being formed.
Okay.
Like maybe Joker is gonna like form his own little like evil team because
Okay.
he goes to Catwoman. And Catwoman is like splayed out on like her bed of money and shit, and she's like, "Oh, Joker, what do you want? Like, what's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, I thought I'd start a little mischief." And she's like, "Count me in." And you're like, "Okay, Catwoman and Joker are going to team up. That's weird." And then in the next issue, Joker just beats the shit out of Catwoman and leaves her for dead. Because Miller forgot what he did in the last issue. He remembers that Joker and Catwoman meet, but he doesn't remember what the hell happened, and it's because nothing happens. They just talk to each other for half a second. So it's... Can you imagine, like, the scene that took place between those, where she's like, "Oh, maybe we'll hang out." He's like, "Yeah, maybe." You're like, what the fuck?
Like she must have said the wrong thing
Right,
and he took
like
it the
just
wrong
said it
way.
wrong.
It's just crazy, because you're like, I guess, like... Catwoman is too like on a high horse for Frank Miller. Like, nah, this woman's getting a little too uppity. Time to take her down a peg or two with some Joker justice.
Just like we needed to like knock Wonder Woman off of her pedestal.
Yeah, with a Superman. So, okay, as we know in like the old school origin of Green Lantern's ring, it has power over everything except for the color yellow.
Yes.
They've kind of fixed that with the New 52, but meh. But in the Dark Knight Returns universe, in the Frank Miller Batman universe, that thing still works. That color yellow thing. So Green Lantern meets Batman in one of Batman's many safe houses. And Batman has like little like safe houses all across Gotham, and probably all across the world and on the moon. But in this safe house, everything's yellow.
And Batman is dripping with yellow.
Batman and Robin stayed up all night painting the safe house yellow. And themselves.
Of course they did.
You know, if you paint your body, you asphyxiate your skin and you die.
This is special, like, Wayne Tech paint.
Yeah, it breathes. It's breathable paint.
Yeah.
Are you making that up right now, or is that actually a
What?
thing?
No, of course I'm making that up right now. I don't fucking know.
So, fucking... There's so much dialogue in this scene.
Look at this.
For no reason!
Well,
And
like, we gotta cover up all this yellow because
it's so
really
dumb! But, like,
hard to
and
look
by
at.
the way, I've read a bunch of reviews. People were like, this is my favorite issue in the whole series. Because it's so awesome. And I'm like, no. This is the culmination of all the dumb shit that's been going on.
Well, he's got like yellow food. He's pouring lemonade.
Would you care for some lemonade since you have no power over me now?
This is yellow, and this is yellow, and I've got this yellow thing over here. Like,
And Lantern doesn't even say, like, curse you, you know, my weakness is yellow. He just goes, like, what do you do? It's almost like it doesn't work.
Doesn't do
It doesn't
anything.
actually do anything, but Green Lantern feels sorry for him.
like,
I'm sorry you believe
he's
this.
gotta.
Because at no point does he
That's what you need.
try to
Yeah.
use his ring. He's just like, God damn it, Batman.
Well, it's also like, we were just gonna talk.
Yeah.
Are you gonna try and beat me up? Is
Yeah,
that what this
What are you
is?
he is like, what are you doing? So Green Lantern gives him his pitch where he's like, there's a bunch of people, they're all superpowered, they all want to take you down, but like, I think, because we're both human beings, maybe what we should do is like not do, like, you should chill the fuck out. And Batman's like, nah, I think what I'm going to do is maybe even more crazy. He's like, you
This
know,
goes
like,
on- this is
it
pages
goes
and
on.
pages of
It-
yellow.
It doesn't even end. Like it's most of the book. It's all the book is him talking about this about. So
That's bizarre.
So Green Lantern's like for example, you kidnapped this fucking little boy, and Batman's like, what are you talking about? I didn't do that.
What?
And Lantern's like, what? No, you didn't. And he's like, no, we did. Remember? Like, there was a press conference And, like, we cut to this press conference where Dick Grayson is like, yeah, no, like, Batman did kidnap me and took me to, like, an orphanage. Like, where I was, like, or to a welfare office. Like, Batman took care of everything, and he's fine. Like, he's really nice, and, like, Dick Grayson is completely okay with just lying.
Yeah, Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
When did this happen?
Well, it's,
yesterday.
It's like Green Lantern didn't see it. He's
No,
like,
he was too busy.
You didn't know, but
Yeah.
flashback.
The title of the article in the Gotham Gazette, Batnapped. Not.
Dear God.
So...
When was this book written? Too late for someone to
Do the
Oh,
job.
long! Yeah.
Well, not for Frank Miller.
Not for Frank Miller.
He's like...
Is that still a thing?
That's cool,
Not-
right?
Let's do it.
Not.
Yeah.
No, he probably just heard of it. Like, I've made
Yeah.
that joke.
Yeah. Oh. So, because Green Lantern's like, are you trying to tell me that the 12-year-old sidekick you've suddenly you just showed up with is not Dick Grayson? And he's like, no, that's just a kid that I work with. Like, he's not Dick Grayson. And he's like, what? But because Hal Jordan in this universe is a dumbass, he is like, don't try to confuse me. And I'm like, because Dick Grayson is like playing along, is like, hey, maybe, you know what? He sounds pretty convincing. Maybe I am Dick Grayson. And he's like, God damn it, you guys! I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to help out.
He just punched Batman. Is Batman just going to take that?
Yeah, Batman's because he knows. Yeah, he is just going to take because he's got it right where he wants him. He's like, sure,
Yeah.
let him blow out some steam.
Right.
He's just a guy. Like he punched me in the face. Whatever. I'm Batman.
I can't believe Hal Jordan is just. I don't buy it.
Don't buy it. Well, he
But
doesn't
but he's confused. He's like, I don't buy it.
No.
Come on.
I really thought you kidnapped him.
Yeah.
Why is he fucking with him? I don't understand.
Because he's being a dick. Because he's like, look at this guy.
Why doesn't he just say, yeah, it's Dick Grayson, he wants to be my son?
No, because then it'll betray that he's Bruce Wayne.
Oh, they don't know he's Bruce Wayne?
No.
Oh,
no,
shit.
none of the superheroes. Neither, by the way, does Dick Grayson know that Batman is Bruce Wayne.
He's only seen the Batcave.
Yeah.
But he's seen Alfred.
No, he's
No.
heard Alfred's voice.
He's been in the darkness and the
that's
shadows.
right.
Yeah, a
Lurking
voice
about.
from far away has been saying.
God.
By the way, it would take years to paint every inch of this building. And they did it yesterday after the press conference. So, like, no! Then Robin and Hal fight. And it's not really a fight in as much as, because Hal's just a guy, Robin kicks the shit out of him and then crushes his trachea.
What? Why does Robin do this?
Because Robin is becoming a psycho, just like Batman.
That didn't take very long.
No, it didn't. Because he's a 12-year-old boy,
Yeah.
and his parents were killed 2 days ago. So, like, Batman kicks the shit out of Robin
What?
because he went too far.
He went too far. You weren't supposed to hit his trachea.
Yeah.
Did he kill Hal Jordan? I don't understand.
No, he hit it. So he's choking to death.
Okay.
And so Batman has to perform a tracheotomy right now. And so he does, but the mask is in the way. So he reveals that he's Bruce Wayne. He's like, this man's life is at stake, so I don't have time to protect my identity from Hal Jordan and Dick Grayson.
Okay.
So he reveals to both of them that he's Bruce Wayne and saves Hal Jordan's life. Revealing by Frank Miller's standards, by the way, like Bruce Wayne could have been anything. Bruce Wayne could have been a doctor, he could have been a brilliant surgeon, he could have been like a safecracker or a pianist, but he's Batman, so he's all of those things and more.
Yeah.
And so Batman performs an impromptu tracheotomy and saves Hal Jordan's life, and then they send him to the hospital or whatever, and Batman realizes that all the shit he's been doing for the last 8 issues has been traumatizing Dick Grayson and ruining him as a person.
Maybe he went a little too far.
Yes, so he takes Dick to Dick Grayson's parents' grave.
Oh, that'll help.
And he's like, you need to mourn them. I never mourned my parents.
Okay.
They
And look what
died.
happened to me.
Yeah, they died, and I just let it.
Rather than mourn, I went into a cave and ate rats.
I ate rats. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Okay, you haven't actually even eaten one rat, so
Yeah.
maybe there's
So,
hope for
I can still save you.
Yeah. So he fucking.
He almost runs over those deer.
Yeah. So then he grieves,
Okay.
and they both grieve together. Actually, so
Oh.
but he says we mourn lives lost, including our own, because their lives are now dedicated to the cause.
Right.
Well, they can't be Dick Grayson
And Bruce Wayne
anymore.
No, now they're Batman and Robin, the
Yeah.
Boy Wonder.
That is a terrible title, by the way.
Oh, it's awful.
Because it's Batman and Robin.
The Boy Wonder. Yeah. So, in the last issue of the series, for the beginning of it is like a detective story from Sin City, where Jim Gordon just complains.
Now, Jim Gordon hasn't been in any of these books since that first.
He was in an earlier book where he establishes that he loves his daughter and his wife is a drunk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was that one. That was the only
That
one.
was the only one.
With Barbara turning into Batgirl.
Yes.
And we don't see her again either.
No. Until now.
Until now, okay.
So, like, some beat cops found Catwoman bloody and, like, left for dead in an alley. And all she had on her person was a note that she wrote with her own blood. And she said, "Give it to Gordon." And then she escapes. Like, she runs away.
Catwoman does this.
Yeah. And Gordon, like, goes to the docks and he just throws the note into the river. Because, like, it's about masks and capes and doesn't mean anything to regular people. Except Batman is under the docks in the river waiting for it. Because, like, that's where they do their information exchange.
Oh, I see.
And so Batman reads the note, and the note says, "Sprawled in blood, the first time."
Okay.
And Batman is like, "I know where to go," and then we get like all these really cool images of Batman and Robin like swinging through the city. So like,
cool.
like images
The thing that you wanted to see.
yeah, images that you like because he knows, almost like he knows this is going to be the last one. Then they go to this like weird, like sewer bunker thing that Batman. It was we established it's Batman's first Batcave.
Oh, okay.
When he became Batman, but rejected Bruce Wayne. Like, he was like, "I proved that I didn't use billions and I ate rats." Like, this is where he ate rats and lived in the caves. And, like, didn't establish... Like, it was almost like before he came back to Gotham City as Bruce Wayne, like, he lived in this cave and did this... and was Batman there or something.
Mm-hmm. Proto-Batman.
Yeah, Proto-Batman. And that's also the first time where he and Catwoman, like, banged.
Oh.
And that's what she's referring to.
Okay.
And he says, like, the first time her note says, "Of course I knew what she meant. And where? Our first time here in my first Batcave." And, like, we made a mess of things that night. A dirty, sweaty, glorious mess.
Oh my god.
And you're like, Jesus Christ. So, she says, like, "Joker kicked the shit out of me." Then,
Yeah, no shit.
we go to the arcade from Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, wow.
And Barbara's there.
Where Barbara Batgirl is giving people a hard time.
Oh.
And then she gets arrested by cops and goes to jail. And... And she's like, "Don't use your influence to protect me, Dad. Like, it was my fault. I accept my responsibilities. Like,
And of course he's going to do it anyway.
Like, I put the mask on. It's Batman. It's not Batman's fault. Don't blame Batman.
Right.
Like, Batman inspired me to be greater than I am. And, like, so, you know, I'll just take my punishment because I'm a good soldier in this. Like, and, you know, he's like, "I'm so proud of my daughter." And you're like, what? So that's the end of her.
Your daughter's a lunatic. So she serves, like, no function in this
Doesn't
book,
do anything.
except to kind of reference Robin from The Dark Knight Returns.
Yes, and she's like, she is part of the Batmania that's sweeping this universe,
Right,
where like
right.
Batman is inspiring people.
Right. Already.
Yeah, his wife winds up like getting into a car wreck, coming from the bar. So like his daughter's in jail. I think actually he's at the hospital for Barbara, his wife.
Okay.
And he gets the call from his partner.
Okay.
Where he's like, your daughter's on the line. And he's like, you know, he's like, "I'll call her back." And he goes, "She only gets one call." And he's like, "I'll call her back." And then he goes, "Wait a minute, one call? What?" Like, oh no. So his life is falling apart. And when she tells him, like, you know, "Don't worry about me. Like, just leave me in jail and I'll take care of myself." She's like, "You know what you should do, Dad? You look like you're having a hard day. You should call Sarah."
That's bizarre.
That's fucked up.
Like, that's...
She knows that her dad wants to have an affair on her mom. And
Yeah,
she's like,
I
"But that,
hate my mom. She's such a bitch. My
Yeah.
dad should just be with
She's a drunk all the time. Just leave her, Dad.
Except she's a drunk because he's such a jerk
I know.
who cheated on her."
This said no kid ever.
Right. Now, and like for no reason whatsoever, Black Canary is also like causing trouble. Like it's like the whole this issue is like the whole world's coming to an end. Like there's explosions and shit, and like Black Canary's like riding her motorcycle, and she's laughing, and you're like, and Gordon is like driving through the city, like trying to get to the hospital, and you're like, and then in the end, the last issue, the last panel, the last moment in this story, Gordon sits on the phone with Sarah and says, "Please tell me about your day." And that's the end of the series. By the way, I left out the part, like, when Robin orders his costume from Alfred, he gets it, and it looks like a fucking cool... It's a really cool version of, like a Robin Hood costume.
Uh-huh.
And it actually looks... This came before Damian Wayne got his eventual Robin costume, but it looks exactly like it.
Okay.
Only Frank Miller does what the Batman in the real continuity should have done. Because he shows up and he says, "Call me Hood." And he's got like his archery shit. And then Batman says, "Do you know what the first thing any self-respecting Hood would do to someone like you?" And he grabs the top of his hood and pushes it over his face. And then he
Who's
says,
the Hood?
"You're Robin. Like, you can be Robin Hood, but no Hood, so you're Robin."
I love the fact that he's got the H right there.
Yeah, he's like,
just like,
"Oh, I guess
I gotta
I
get a
take the
different
H off."
letter.
Damn it!
Yeah.
I can't believe it ends like
And it just ends on like a what?
nothing happened. What? Where was this going? I don't understand.
That's the
where
thing.
it
I don't
could have
think that
gone.
anyone knew where it was going.
Because it's not going anywhere.
Like, well, because Frank Miller doesn't write monthlies,
yeah,
so I think he was just like, "Oh no, like, well, where does it go?" Like,
yeah. I just string cool things together.
yeah, I just wrote the issues individually, and it didn't matter like what happened next.
yeah. What's your theory on where this might have been going? Like what?
Oh, like where were they going
Was
with
there
this?
going to be a fight between Batman and the Joker?
It had to have been that ultimately there was going to be a fight between Batman and Joker.
And I assume there would be some explanation for why the Joker killed Dick Grayson's,
Parents, but like I can't even imagine what Joker's justification was to kill his
There's
parents.
no hint.
It could have been that he like just maybe like Joker wanted to have a partner too, like and he was watching Robin from a distance, and like he was
Right.
like, maybe I'll like make my own, like I'll kill him and then like I'll kill his parents and then I'll take him for my own. Or it could be
Except he had absolutely nothing to do with it.
No.
Like, he wasn't around.
Yeah, he wasn't ready
No.
to do it, so like...
no.
And he would have killed his parents himself.
Well, maybe this Joker is totally different from any Joker I've ever seen. Like this Joker.
He seems to be sort of similar to Joker from The Dark Knight Returns, in that he's like this tortured, like, psychopath person.
This one is much more cogent. Like this one, the one in Dark Knight Returns, yeah, they're very similar because they're written by the same guy. But like it's interesting because for me, Dark Knight Returns Joker, like Batman, like the Dark Knight Returns movie, the cartoon movie, like the guys who made that were like, the fight with Joker has to be awesome. Mm-hmm. For me, the Batman Joker story is a footnote in the Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Like what matters in that story is Batman versus the mutants.
Yeah. Yep.
And then Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
And even that is like that's just the last fight in the book.
Yeah.
It's really more like Batman versus like
Batman versus like the chaos in the city.
Batman versus the city
Disorder.
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of like I almost felt like Frank Miller doesn't even know what to do with the Joker, but he knew that if he's writing the last
gotta
one,
be in there.
he has to be in there. It has to be fucking epic.
Yeah.
I do love the idea that like that Joker doesn't smile unless he sees Batman. That like Joker finds his smile because of Batman in that universe. Not
There's
like
your smile. There
there it is. You got it.
So here's a question: When
You're like a mime.
Yeah.
when Batman and Black Canary are like making out, do they have sex?
We don't.
Because he's like lying on top of her, and then you get this like lightning bolt,
Almost like it's like him.
and then he asks her if she
entering
needs a ride home. Like, oh, all right, we're done. You
Like
need
the
a ride
onomatopoeia of
home?
like, Krathum!
Yeah,
It's me coming.
yeah.
Well, I like to think that it was like premature ejaculation. That like they started to do
done.
things, and he's
Yeah.
like, "You need to ride home." She's like, "But we just started." He's like, "Not me."
No, I end things quickly.
And then she's like getting up, and she's like,
He's putting on her like jacket,
Putting her jacket
but
on.
like her clothes are still all on.
yeah, because
Now,
they
he
can't
does
show
say-
him like taking her clothes off.
Frank Miller showed Superman and Wonder Woman sky banging all throughout Dark Knight
Yeah,
Returns.
but it was like the art style was like you couldn't really tell what was happening.
no, it's true. No, you can tell what's happening. Don't tell me what's happening. They hide themselves in his super cape.
Yeah,
But like
exactly.
they're moving around. This is just he's on top of her, lightning bolt. Do you need to ride home? Like either a lightning storm, either like after the storm was over, like they finished. I don't know. It's maybe like I see a cape there. Maybe like he covered her with the
Yeah,
cape.
it looks like that's what he's doing.
Maybe they kept most of their clothes on.
I just
Yeah.
kind of like the fact that, like,
Yeah.
I think it's in the previous scene, like, we keep the masks on. It's better that way.
Yeah,
And
It's as he's lying on top of her.
Yeah.
We keep the mask on. It's better this way.
And then, like, the lightning is just time passage.
That
It's like,
could be
We
time
need to cut
passage.
away. We don't have a fireplace. We have lightning.
Yeah, we pan to lightning.
Yep.
Now that would be cool. That'd be fun.
And then, like, because in this shot, his cape is all like up in the air, and then
And now it's
here,
down.
after the lightning, and it's like around her.
Right, like the storm raged, and then after the storm
Yeah.
subsided,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, what's he doing over here?
Yeah, he's like he's got his hand like by his belt, like he's putting
his belt back on, or he's hiking his pants back up. All right.
He's making sure he used a bat condom.
It's whatever you want it to be, I think. If you wanted them to have sex outside in the rain,
then
that's really the team up.
What?
Because they don't actually
Batman and Black Canary.
Yeah,
I guess
the fight illustrated on the cover is really more like, no, they don't really fight, but they fight. Like
they fight with genitals.
Yeah, their genitals fight. Her reproductive system fights back his genetic material. So she shouldn't have an insane baby. I mean, so there you go. All-Star Batman and Robin torched the series or the imprint.
Yeah, that's too bad.
And it's so sad because, like, especially if like you're like a newcomer and you're like, well, I never really read much of this, so I'm like, I picked up All-Star Superman. I'm like, wow, that was a crazy story about Superman.
Yeah, I guess I'll pick up All-Star Batman.
Yeah, I guess I'll pick up this. What? And not only is it like not autonomous, like not only is it, but it's connected to like 1,000 things.
It's intrinsically part of Frank Miller's like
insane universe that no one cares if it's all part of. Like, no.
Oh my God.
It's so weird. So that's the end of that, and we'll never see more.
That's what you get, DC, for giving that.
Well, I guess like I think for them, because they did it. Like that's the thing is that they already knew he was out of his mind because he did Dark Knight Strikes Again. So they were like, "What the fuck?" And it took forever.
Yeah.
And he wrote and drew that.
Yeah. So how did they? Why did they make the same mistake with this?
I don't know. I would love to know why they were. Because
because it's not a sequel. Maybe
well, you can't bomb
why?
twice in a row.
Because it's a prequel.
No. I'm saying like they saw Dark Knight Returns. They're just like, this is shit. Maybe it's because he can't write a sequel. Let's just have him do other continuity.
Right, but he didn't. Like, it is in continuity with that story.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just they realized he can't write and draw. No, just
just
write
it.
The problem.
Right, as opposed to... But the writing is what made it insane!
Yeah.
Like,
the writing in Dark Knight Returns...
is great.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah.
It's also 30 years old.
Yeah. I could see editorial thinking, though, like, the problem with Dark Knight Strikes Again was the art was weird. That was really the problem.
Right.
It was so bizarre. Like, otherwise it would have been fine.
Like, no, it wouldn't have been fine. It looks just as insane as what it says.
Yeah.
Like, I think that the issue was
distracted by having to do the art, so if we could just focus on the writing again, he could do it.
Here's the thing.
It'll be great.
This original, like, the first couple of issues sold like fucking gangbusters.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
So that's really what it is. Like, I mean, I bought it. These are all originals, but but after issue 2, I'm like, okay, I gotta see where this goes. And like after a while, like I remember after the Black Canary issue, I was like, I don't think I need to buy any more of these.
Yeah.
But like, it also wasn't an inconvenience for me because the book came out whenever it did. So like every once in a while, I'd be like, oh.
And it's
all right.
These issues are $3. So
yeah,
like, whatever.
And I could afford $3 a year on a 10-issue series. So there you go.
Oh my God.
So fucking terrible. But the art is so great.
Yeah. It's really...
And it's weird because like I want to know like how much of it was Miller's direction. Like how much did Miller say like draw this awesome thing, or did he just say like make sure Batman says or thinks this, and then doesn't say anything else?
And Jim's like, all right, I'll just create the direction for this book.
Yeah, like Jim's like, I guess I'll just draw like this really cool image of Batman.
Yeah, like whose idea was it for Hal Jordan to be holding a hot dog and drinking a soda?
My guess is that's definitely Frank Miller.
Okay.
And he has to be half eating it too.
Yeah. He has to be eating a hot dog. Is he trying to imply that he's gay? Like,
I mean, like, it's Miller, so maybe, but I think it's more that he's just being an idiot.
I think that's the food on the go.
He's just a goof.
Yeah, he's a goof.
Who eats fast food when he's meeting Batman.
Well, he's in the city, like, he probably went to, like, a hot dog cart and grabbed it. He was waiting so long for Batman.
Also, by the way, he must have had at least 2 hot dogs, because his mouth is full, and he has a fresh hot dog in his hand.
It's true. Yeah. Continuity, I also feel like a goddamn tool for the goddamn Batman. All-Star Batman and Robin is anything but, except Jim Lee is the breakout. I mean, obviously Jim Lee's art is freaking awesome. Yeah. This book is
too bad.
And I love Robin in this book.
Yeah.
Like, he's cool.
It's weird that, like, he manages to make Robin, like, an interesting character, but, like, Batman... It's almost like Batman's, like, not even really a character in this story.
Yeah, he doesn't want it to be about Batman, because he wanted the title to be Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder.
Yeah.
And yet, Batman
but in Dark Knight Strikes Again... So in Dark Knight Strikes Again, this Robin turns into a monster that he murders in a volcano.
Right.
If it's in that same continuity, it is ultimately a infinitely more tragic story.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's not even tragic. It's just weird and uncomfortable.
Like here, like Robin is showing a lot of promise, but it's all for
nothing because we know that it's gonna
it ends horribly.
Yeah, that he turns into a fucking weird clay monster. It's really dumb. So there you go. All-Star Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder by Frank Miller and Jim Lee. You can get it in collected volumes. I think they have like, and they didn't even they did like they merchandised the shit out of it, even though it was everyone hates it and everyone thinks it's dumb. They're like, so yeah, you're going to get the Absolute Edition, the hardcover edition, the trade paperback. Like,
we made it.
We made it. We got sketches and like notes.
I would love to hear his notes for making.
I would love to see the script, just the scripts for these. I imagine they're all on like yellow legal pad and just written in like blood. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel. Click the sensation here to see every episode of back issues we've ever done, and we will see you guys next week with our 50th episode of back issues. 50, and then 2 episodes later, it'll be 52, which is like a year of back issues. So we'll make a big deal of it, and then like the year later, we'll be like, yay!
Yeah, year anniversary.
It's pretty cool, though.
I mean, it's awesome.
What book are we going to do for number 50?
Hoping to get a lot of... I've got a lot of different ideas up in the air. Hopefully we'll get some really cool stuff.
What book are we going to do?
Well, alright, I'll tell you guys, but the book we're going to do is...
But he didn't reject him at all then. What?
Nope.
What?
Nope, it's whatever.
Also, how does the vat of
anti-venom
like, not...
Take away the healing vat. Like,
No, how does it pick and choose?
Well, here's the thing. If Spider-Man jumped into the anti-venom, it would make his powers go away. Because it's Peter Parker plus powers. But with Kane, he was Peter Parker plus powers, plus extra other powers. Like, plus other, like, spider abilities.
But it was still all spider stuff.
So the cure made that part go away.
Hang on, I know Ethan's not here, but I'm pretty sure that's not how that works.
No, it's totally how it works. You see, it's like, alright, if I cut you, and then I shoot you, and then I apply a band-aid to you, it'll get rid of the gunshot wound, but not the cut.
Right.
It's levels.
Yeah. It's levels of cure.
Yeah.
It cured him of being a monster, but didn't cure him of being a Spider-Man. So there you go.